Odisha Bengal brace for cyclone fury. Lakhs evacuated, shifted to shelters. NDRF deployed, Indian Airforce and Navy on standby. Top focus at 6 p.m. prime.
Good evening and welcome. This is 6 p.m. prime coming to you live from Kolkata today. We are in West Bengal. Our ground coverage of the COVID-19 has brought us to West Bengal. But ladies and gentlemen, in just less than 24 hours, that's Cyclone Yaas is going to make landfall in Odisha. There is going to be a significant impact here in West Bengal as well. And before, in fact, we can resume our COVID coverage, we will be dedicating today, in fact, to the first half, of course, to the entire situation which is now brewing in Bengal and also in Odisha, where the landfall is expected tomorrow, somewhere in the noon. My colleagues are on the ground at the places which are going to be the worst impacted. I am in Kolkata, and behind me, the very, very famous and noticeable Howrah Bridge just at the background. So, indistinguishable, in fact, mark of Kolkata. And we are on the banks of the Hooghly River now. During the course of the program, I'll be going across to my colleague Kamaljeet, who is joining us from Odisha. She's in Balasore, and also we'll be going across in West Bengal to Anupam Mishra and Suryagni, those who are, both of them, in fact, are trying to get us the latest of how the state of West Bengal is preparing to deal with Cyclone Yaas, which has been now categorized a very severe cyclone. Let's very quickly first get you how the preparations are being done to make sure that after Cyclone Taute, and especially in West Bengal, people still are, reminded of what happened last year when Cyclone Amphan ravaged many parts of West Bengal. There was some damage in Kolkata as well. As the wind here slightly picks up, it's been raining, light to moderate showers throughout the day in Kolkata. The sky is overcast. Let me now bring you how both the states of Odisha and West Bengal are preparing to deal with Cyclone Yaas.
Trains chained to the tracks. Lakhs evacuated. Relief teams on ground. Odisha and West Bengal are on high alert as the very severe Cyclone Yaas inches closer towards the shores. The cyclone is expected to make landfall along the North Odisha coast in Balasore, and authorities are taking no chances.
जो वल्नरेबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है, कोस्टल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है, वहाँ पर डिस्ट्रिक्ट एसपीज के सुपरविजन में पुलिस टीम्स फिलहाल इवैक्यूएशन ड्राइव को इंटेंसिफाई करके चला रही है. 81,661 पीपल जो वल्नरेबल एरियाज में रह रहे हैं, उनको अभी तक इवैक्यूएट कर दिया गया है.
At the Balasore COVID facility, authorities are prepared for the worst.
We have got 5 generators ready. We have got sufficient fuel with us, so that any time there will be power breakdown, will be sufficiently enabled to continue our hospital.
In Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee visited the cyclone control room to take stock of preparedness.
এবারেও প্রায় 9 লক্ষ লোককে ইতিমধ্যে ইভাকুয়েট করা হয়েছে এবং তাদের সমস্ত রিলিফ সেন্টারে, এবং আমাদের ফ্লাড সেন্টার আছে বাংলায় প্রায় 4000, যেটা আমরা তৈরি করেছি আমাদের গভর্নমেন্ট আসার পর. সেই ফ্লাড সেন্টারে, রিলিফ সেন্টারে কিছু স্থানীয় স্কুলে বা বিভিন্ন জায়গায় তাদের নিয়ে যাওয়া হয়েছে, এবং আমাদের 24x7 যে মনিটরিং চলছে, আমাদের ওয়ার রুম তৈরি হয়েছে দুর্যোগের জন্য. চিফ সেক্রেটারি, হোম সেক্রেটারি অলওয়েজ অল দ্য টাইম তারা ডিএমদের সাথে কন্ট্যাক্টে আছেন.
Residents too are taking all precautions.
এখানে বলছে কোনো লোক এখানে থাকা যাবে না, এখানে খুবই ডেঞ্জারাস অবস্থা আছে. আর এখানে বিশেষ করে আজকের 25 তারিখ থেকে কোনো লোকজন এখানে না থাকে। তাহলে এই 3-4 দিন যদি জল বাড়ে, এই ওয়েদার বলছে 27 তারিখ পর্যন্ত ওয়েদার থাকবে, ওয়েদার থাকা মানে জল বাড়তেই থাকবে, তাহলে এখানে আমাদের এইসব দোকানের ভিতরে জল ঢেউ মারবে, অবস্থা খুব খারাপ হবে।
But not all seem to be adhering to the alert.
Sea conditions are getting rough at Digha in East Midnapur. I can show you the waves which are coming and these are the rough conditions which will get very rough, and during landfall process it will be extremely rough. Civil defense people are patrolling over sea beaches and coastal areas, so no one can get near to sea.
As authorities rush to help, many claim they got no help from the government.
আমফানেও আমরা বিশাল ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হয়ে গেছিলাম, এই ঘরবাড়ি এগুলো কিছুই ছিল না, দোকানদানি কিছুই ছিল না, আমরা সরকার থেকে কোনো সাহায্য দান সামগ্রী কিছুই পাইনি।
With overcast skies and unpredictable weather, heavy rains expected with wind speeds of 185 km per hour, Cyclone Yaas is expected to hit this particular area in the next 24 hours. What is important is the preparation both by the center as well as the state of Odisha. They want to keep up the zero casualty, the figure the state has previously had. But the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic are many: social distancing, masking, and to ensure safety of all. With camera person Kirpal Singh, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Balasore for India Today.
Let me very quickly now just bring you a brief of how and where is going the landfall of Cyclone Yaas is going to take place tomorrow. So with the help of this map which is coming on your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just very quickly give you a sense that the landfall in fact will be in Balasore in Odisha at around noon on Wednesday. That's the expected landfall, and post the landfall, the cyclone, which has been now categorized as severe category cyclone, will be moving towards Jamshedpur and in Jharkhand. The West Bengal, where my colleagues are, that's the place which is expected to have the maximum impact. Although the Met Department has also predicted more rains for Kolkata as well tomorrow. But very quickly, let's just listen into DG SN Pradhan, who is the DG of the Director General of the NDRF, which has pressed a lot of teams into action, both in West Bengal and also in Odisha, to deal with this cyclone. Let's very quickly listen to SN Pradhan.
अभी 25 मई 2021 के अपराह्न में साइक्लोन यास समंदर पर बालासोर उड़ीसा के तट से लगभग 320 किलोमीटर दूर केंद्रित है और यह एक सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म की कैटेगरी में परिणत हो चुका है और आने वाले समय में शाम तक हवा की गति जो है बढ़ जाएगी और लैंडफॉल जो कि कल सुबह 5:30 के आसपास पूर्वानुमान किया गया है एमडी द्वारा, उस समय यानी लैंडफॉल के समय हवा की गति 160 के ऊपर 185 तक जा सकती है। अर्थात आज शाम से लेकर कल सुबह तक का समय बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है साइक्लोन के मद्देनजर और तैयारी के लिहाज से।
Breaking news coming in. Preparations are on and war footing as far as Cyclone Yaas expected landfall in Odisha is concerned. What you are getting to know is that over 2 lakh people have been evacuated from the coastal towns, and authorities are aiming to evacuate over 5 lakh more from the low-lying areas in Odisha. So massive, large-scale operations to evacuate people. Let me go across to my colleague Kamaljeet Sandhu, who is in Balasore, Odisha. This is where the landfall of a Cyclone Yaas is expected tomorrow. Kamal, large-scale operations, the state government machinery, the central government, NDRF, all in fact have been pressed into action. Just give our viewers a sense of what you are experiencing right now and how the state of Odisha, the Balasore administration is preparing to deal with what is to come tomorrow.
Well, we are all awaiting the double whammy, which is COVID-19 pandemic and the Cyclone Yaas. Now, early this morning, we saw the waves were not even visible, but now eventually the water is creeping up to where we are standing. And now, at this point of time, where people are huddled in their homes, several of those who are adventurous have made this a selfie point. So there are people behind me, and you'll see several of them standing there, some of them even wading in water. We'll just try and get you a sense. ये बताइए, देश भर में सब लोग देख रहे हैं कि साइक्लोन आ रहा है, आप लोग अभी बाहर हैं, आप लोगों को आसपास के इलाके पे रहते हैं, तो डर नहीं लगता है आप लोगों को?
नहीं, डर की कोई बात, डर तो था एक्चुअली। अभी जो है मैंने साइक्लोन का जो रुख मोड़ चुका है अभी मतलब यहाँ से आपका मिनिमम आपका 100 किलोमीटर आगे थे उसका।
पर इम्पैक्ट तो ओवरऑल एरिया में होगा, जो ये मेन डिस्ट्रिक्ट है वहाँ पे भी होगा?
नहीं, यहाँ पर तो अभी कोई खतरा नहीं है।
आपको लग रहा है कि खतरा नहीं है? So there you go, and if you can actually just pan the camera all around and give you a 360-degree view, there are several of these people who turned this into a modeling point of sorts. Several of them jumping into the water. So it's an exciting time, but not for the authorities. They have been busy since morning, 24/7, if I can say so, moving, evacuating people. We went to the relief centers. Those from the coastal areas have been moved backwards, especially in these relief center points. And now social distancing is some of the factor which will impact, because remember, temperature checks, masking, all that being done. But clearly the next 24 to 48 hours is something that they're looking at. And at this point of time, we are expecting not just extremely gusty winds at the rate of 185 km per hour, but also we are expecting that there could be trees could be uprooted, mobile phone towers could be uprooted. So there is damage which is anticipated. Hopefully not, and if things go off well, but it's the preparation which will counter the cyclone, and so in that COVID area as well. And these are instructions which have gone into several of the hospitals, treating those who are on ICU, on ventilators, even those people who are on oxygen support, that there should not be any supply which should be cut short. There is a maximum backup which has been given. The power minister has been touring these particular areas of Balasore and Bhadrak, and they are ensuring that critical care is provided during the next 48 hours, where the cyclone will pass through this area.
Right. All right, Kamal, stay safe, and we'll keep coming back to you for the latest which is coming in from Balasore in Odisha, where the cyclone is expected to make the landfall tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us with all those live inputs. Now, I'm in Kolkata, and just to, in fact, take forward and give you a sense of what is the expected impact as far as this entire Cyclone Yaas is concerned. Like right at the banks of the Hooghly River where we are standing, in the last couple of hours, the wind speed has picked up. But as far as the overall situation in Kolkata is concerned, the coastal areas are expected to be worst impacted. In West Bengal, East Midnapur, South and North 24 Parganas will be the most impacted districts, and Kolkata is going to have a moderate impact. Heavy rainfall is expected from Tuesday night, from tonight onwards, till at least 24 hours in Kolkata. Now, at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind our viewers, and especially if you are in Kolkata, in this part of the country, you would remember what happened when Cyclone Amphan had hit West Bengal. That was the time when for almost 14 hours there was massive rainfall, huge, in fact, wind speed in Kolkata that resulted in a lot of disruption. Many places there was electricity poles which were disrupted. 4,000 electricity poles of the Kolkata Municipal Corporation were disrupted badly, and there was no electricity in some areas for up to 14 hours. So that memory is still fresh as far as Kolkata is concerned and people of Kolkata are concerned. And that is why this time we see the government, in fact, being extra cautious when they are preparing for this entire cyclone, which is going to hit the coast of India in Odisha tomorrow. Now, let me very quickly go across to my colleague Suryagni, who is joining us from Sundarban. Suryagni, in West Bengal, the area where you are standing is supposed to have the maximum impact. Just give our viewers a sense of what are you experiencing right now, and how are the preparations for tomorrow?
Well, Ankit, if we just speak about the impact in West Bengal, these are 2 points, which is Digha in East Midnapur till the point of Sagar and Kakdeep and Bokhali, where we are right now. This is the last, last stretch, last tip of mainland West Bengal, and in front of us is the Bay of Bengal. Now, the reason why almost 2,50,000 people have been evacuated from South 24 Parganas, where we are right now, is because, let's not forget, a year back, Ankit, when Super Cyclone Amphan made its landfall, it made its landfall through these areas of the Sundarbans, these areas of South 24 Parganas, and we remember pretty vividly how havoc it created, what havoc it created in South Bengal and Kolkata at large. But right now, what we have been told by the government agencies is that 2,50,000 people have been evacuated, although the fact that Balasore and adjoining areas of Bhadrak will be the area where the landfall will be making. But because West Bengal has faced this will be the third consecutive cyclone in the past 3 years, the administration and the locals have learned a lot from the past. Back to you, Ankit.
Suryagni there, in fact, and the place where he's standing right now, as you can see in these pictures as well, the wind speed is picking up. Suryagni, stay safe. We'll be coming back to you for more details, and we'll get to the latest tomorrow as well. Now, let's just very quickly, as Suryagni was talking about, West Bengal has faced 3 consecutive, including what we are going to now see with Cyclone Yaas, 3 consecutive cyclones in the last 3 years. So what are the lessons that have been learned? And remember, Mamata Banerjee has once again taken over as the Chief Minister of West Bengal after a very bitter election campaign. But this time it just seems that the government machinery does not want to repeat the mistakes of what happened during Cyclone Amphan. Now, the Army, Railways and all state agencies have been alerted. Over 10 lakh people in all from the coastal and low-lying regions of West Bengal are to be evacuated. 1,000 power restoration teams are on standby. 51 disaster management teams have been deployed. 440 teams deployed for telecom restoration, and disaster control room has been set up where the Chief Minister herself went in the afternoon today to take stock of the situation. Now, let me very quickly take you to Digha, where my colleague Anupam is standing by. Digha is also one of the 2 areas which is supposed to be will have the most impact of Cyclone Yaas in West Bengal. Anupam, I saw in the afternoon you were also, when the waves were in fact crashing down, there were still few people, those who were adventurous, those who wanted to see, those who wanted to capture that despite the strict instructions from the authorities. What's the situation right now as we are, closing to the Cyclone Yaas hitting the landfall?
Yes, as far as Digha is concerned, Digha is experiencing very a weather which is very unpredictable. It's raining now and then intermittently for the last 24 hours as predicted by Weather Office, and the indications which we are getting from Met Office is that the Cyclone Yaas will make a landfall on Dhamra port. It is just around 100 km from Balasore, and it is around 200 km from Digha. So there are 2 challenges. One is rainfall and the second is wind speed. If we talk about wind speed, according to Met Office, it will be maximum around 185 km, and if it hits at a speed of 185 km per hour, it will damage badly. And if we talk about rainfall, it's raining for the last 24 hours, and the rainfall will increase as the cyclone approaches land. So the best way to combat a cyclone is to evacuate people, and that is what West Bengal government has done. Over 9 lakh people have been evacuated, and preparations are there for the post landfall process.
Anupam, thank you for joining us. Stay safe. We'll keep coming back to you for the latest which is coming in as far as the cyclone story is concerned. Now, from Cyclone Yaas, which is expected to make the landfall tomorrow, we still are just less than 24 hours before the landfall, in fact, takes place. The whole process leading up to the landfall is going to increase the problems in certain parts of West Bengal. But I want to now shift focus to another landfall which we were just recently talking about, Cyclone Taute. Severe, very severe category cyclone, and that you saw what happened off the coast of Mumbai. Now, shocking video footage has emerged of how a tugboat was ravaged by Cyclone Taute last week. On your screens, ladies and gentlemen, are videos from the tugboat Baraparda that was stuck in the middle of the sea during the cyclone. Massive waves can be seen lashing the tugboat as it went down. Unfortunately, 11 of the 13 people on board this boat drowned in the mishap. Sahib Gunia, who recorded this video, managed to survive after finding a life raft. In the video, Sahib can be seen and heard, in fact, telling his friends on board the tugboat not to panic. He also narrated exactly what happened and the fight for survival.
ये जो पूरा साइक्लोन के पहले सिचुएशन हुआ, तो क्या आपको लगता है कि सेफ जगह पे लेके जाने का कॉल लेना चाहिए था कैप्टन साहब ने, सबकी जानें बच जाती?
सर ये सब देखिए सर, वो लोग तो सीनियर है, इन लोगों को ज़्यादा एक्टिव रहना चाहिए हम लोगों से ज़्यादा। तो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा फॉल्ट है कैप्टन साहब का। बहुत पहले हम लोगों को सेफ जोन में जाना चाहिए था, बट कैप्टन साहब कुछ नहीं किया। ये भी अगर कैप्टन साहब अगर प्लानिंग करके दोनों लाइफ राफ्ट भी लॉन्च करके अगर हम लोग डिवाइडेड होके अगर कूद जाते तब भी आई थिंक सब सेव हो जाता।
मेरी अपील यही है कि सर्च और रेस्क्यू करिए, इवन लैंड्स पे कीजिए जो आसपास वहाँ पे हैं टापू, उसमें लोग मिलेंगे। कहीं ना कहीं दिल बोलता है कि वो जिंदा है और वो वहाँ मिलेंगे, बस थोड़ा सा और टाइम दे दो। मे बी ये बहुत एक्सपेंसिव, पर प्लीज़ लाइफ इज़ मोर एक्सपेंसिव देन एनीथिंग एल्स। कुछ 10 दिन पहले उन्होंने मुझे बोला भी था कि इस बार साइक्लोन आने वाला है और ये थोड़ा बड़ा होने वाला है। तो मैंने पूछा आपका बार्ज मूव नहीं कर रहा, तो बोले नहीं हमारे कैप्टन ने कैलकुलेशन कर ली है, कुछ नहीं होगा। और सिर्फ कैप्टन को कैसे बोल सकते हैं जब गवर्नमेंट ने ऑर्डर दिया था, हीरा फील्ड की एजेंसी थी, ONGC था, IRS था, ये बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां हैं जिन्होंने अपने बंदों को वहाँ भेजा है, वो सब ने इग्नोर कर दी उस वार्निंग को। कैसे एक इतना बड़ा बार्ज वहाँ रह गया?
सौरभ से आखिरी कम्युनिकेशन आपका क्या हुआ था, क्या बात?
17 तारीख को सुबह मुझे मैसेज आया था व्हाट्सएप पे। पहले गुड मॉर्निंग बोला मेरे को, बेटी को, फिर बोला कंडीशन थोड़ी ख़राब है। उसके बाद वो कॉल करते रहे पर मेरे में कनेक्ट ही नहीं हुआ। लास्ट 9:19 मॉर्निंग में उन्होंने मुझे ट्राई किया था, मैंने मैसेज भी डाले कि सौरभ आपका कॉल कनेक्ट नहीं हो रहा, बट कोई मैसेज डिलीवर नहीं हुआ उसके बाद अभी तक। हर दिन मैं मैसेज डालती हूँ, शायद ये होगा, नहीं पर कुछ नहीं हुआ। मेरा सिर्फ इतना कहना है, जो करना था वो कर दिया, इग्नोर कर दिया, पर अब इग्नोर मत करो। एटलीस्ट जो भी है उनको लेके आओ वापस। थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा पर वो आएंगे वापस।
This is very, very difficult, in fact, and for the families, there are many, many questions that need answers, and people, those who are responsible for this unnecessary loss of life, despite warnings, should be dealt very, very harshly. All right, with that, I'm slipping into a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. On the other side, as the focus on 6 p.m. Prime has been for the last 1.5 years on the continuous pandemic coverage that we have been bringing to you. We'll get you a sense of what